Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is Pete Dahlgren, and we're building the Maersk Models F-86. Gonna notice something really kind of peculiar is that I have moved the airplane upstairs into our actual spare bedroom, and what I'm doing it for is because I really needed to be able to I need to be able to work on the jet in warmth because I'm doing a lot more details. You'll notice I'm putting a lot of aluminum on the airplane. I'm not going to cover the whole entire thing because, and then again, the more I do, the more it's getting harder to stop. I'm trying to balance out a lot of the parts that were actually not existent on the details. And this being said, I'm trying to kind of balance everything out. I am going to show you guys a little bit about what I'm doing here, and this is actually not flight metal. This is actually aluminum tape. It's the stuff you get from this is the stuff you get from Lowe's, and it's about the same thing. And there is a trick to putting it on to get it smooth like this, and you'll notice that I used this and Scotch-Brite pads and all this stuff just to get kind of the sheen in there, and then I will use sandpaper to get it flat after it's done, and then we can kind of go and do a half-ass polish on it. I am not going to have a silver jet, but the more I keep doing this, the more it's turning silver. But what I'm doing here now is actually, you see if I can flip this sideways a little bit. It's kind of hard without the stand, so I'm going to go down and get it and put it in here, get it off the floor. And as you can see, guys, this airplane does hard, it barely fits. But anyway, I'm doing the aluminum underneath in the back, and I do want to leave that kind of I do want to leave it in a good situation that way. And I've done the elevator, the leading edge on this. This is going to get a little bit as well on the end. And I am actually cutting out and making some more pieces. These lines in here will disappear, or what I will do is I will take these and I will trace this. And these are going to be inspection doors that are going to go in on here. And they're going to go into, there'll be about 4 of them spaced on there. It's just a detail that I decided that it really needs because once we start going, you'll notice I have a lot of lines and a lot of other stuff going on. Not a lot of screws, and since I changed this, the build kind of has changed a bit. And just so a lot of you know, I was invited to Top Gun, but in the amount of work that's going on here now, there's no way I'm going to be ready for it. Not in a couple months. So what I'm doing here is I'm coming back with sandpapers and this and that. This you don't really see it. But I still have the wing downstairs I'm working on, and I cannot get overspray on this airplane at this point because everything that lands on this is going to ruin the finish on it for what I am going to do. Now, I have talked about this until it's blue in the face and all this, but there's a lot of things about this airplane that I want to change, and since it's on the floor, you can actually see the difference. I sharpened the nose on this airplane a lot because I decided I wanted a model. When you get in, you look at things that are in here, there's just a ton of things to build, and those are the instruments that are going to be going in the side panels here. And I've got a ton of that stuff to be doing as well, and I've got some other things to fabricate and actually make. And I'm just kind of floating between one thing and another while I'm waiting for one thing or the other. And so I build a lot of these things into, I guess I'm just kind of whipping this thing into submission. And I get kind of torn between a lot of the details I am doing and what's going on. And I really like how other things are going, but then you got to remember it's still a sport jet. And by putting a lot of other things, one thing's going to kill it. So these are subtle details that I've done. I'm going to be putting screws on them. That tail gets painted anyway, regardless of what color it is. but the tip of that does not. This will all get painted, but I just wanted to show through the paint that it's got a lot of detail, a lot of rivets, this and that. It really make it look pretty damn cool. I'm going to do some work on the nose gear and take the strut out. Actually, I'm going to pull the nose gear out and start going through and looking at other things. I've got some fabricating to do on some other parts. Yeah, I need to make some hinges to gear doors for the nose and start getting that thing done. And it's going to require a lot of tapping, and I got to get some parts ordered because our last hobby shop here actually closed its doors and it's no longer with us. So I'm going through kind of climatizing the airplane, getting everything done. I had it in my living room yesterday and it took up the whole thing. But our spare room is so small that it just like, oh shit. I don't have room for this airplane anywhere in this house except for this spare room or downstairs. Well, it's too cold to work downstairs right now. So anyway, basically what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be putting a radius into this particular piece, and then there'll be a continuation of this piece that will come into here. And then this will be all bolted and screwed. These hatches and stuff like that are all as they should be. But there are a lot of little things that are not in this airplane that I just want to be doing. Now, a lot of you guys watch this build for the last couple of years. Just want to say thank you. And again, Happy New Year, by the way. I've been really busy. I went back to work and I just have not had any time for this jet at all. And I hate that. But one of the things is that why I'm laid off, I'm going to try to spend as much time in the next month to get this airplane detailed out on the fuselage and try to get the wings primered and panel lines done and whatever. And try to get some other stuff finished up that needs to be done, which is going to require that I actually move everything up here because the shop is entirely too cold and nothing will dry. And hopefully I can get this done so by March I can get it painted. I will be taking this to Killer Paint in Snohomish, Washington, and we are going to airbrush this thing and actually do the cool paint job to it. And there will be some subtle differences with this one that a lot of people won't see, and there's going to be done, but there's some typical modeling procedures that we're going to be doing, and a lot of it's going to require that I do some rework here. This is not even this line that's in here that was painted on. It's not a panel line, even though it shows it as a panel line in the drawing that I used, and kind of really threw me for a loop a little bit on that. I've got a lot of preliminary painting. There are a lot of things. Color's starting to come out. It's not looking like wood anymore, and so we're just going to keep moving forward. And the next video I will do a little demonstration on what I'm doing here and some of the continuations of what we're doing here. So this aluminum is not hard to master. It's not hard to work with at all. I'm going to leave you guys with that thought and just kind of ooh and ah over a little bit of handiwork that's done. It looks great. I'm happy with it, and I'm sure that everything done here will actually kind of, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for your patience.